Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Lazy Mini Painting. I am Laz, the strange person who sits behind the camera and does this for therapy, apparently. And it's Wednesday morning, but we have had a 2 week. Well, we've had a week break because it's a two-parter, and that usually means that I've got to wait for the second issue to come in, and then we can build it all at once. Excellent idea. But it also means I've got to do 2 streams, because now I've got to do a low stream tonight, which is good because I had a quick look and I think it's going to be a fun one tonight. I do think it's going to be a fun one, so if you're one of the people who likes sometimes things that happen on my reading ones, then please feel free to join. Just gonna come and join you all in portrait mode because I have no idea who's here. And I have changed my cameras around, so hopefully you've got a better quality of picture here, but it's flipped. It's the wrong way around. This is my left hand. This is not my right hand. This is my right hand. See? And I can't get it to mirror. I don't know how to. So I'm just going to give it a few moments while I click things like changing the live chat and coming to join portrait mode. The things that I do at the start of the stream while I'm just waiting for anyone who is coming in to come in. And yeah, today's issue 69 and 70. So that means only 20 issues to go. 20 issues to go. That's it. That's still a lot to go though, isn't it? Still a while to go. 20 weeks. Still a lot of weeks. But this week is finishing a Rockgrinder with the painting guide that they would give you, and you should have be able to build it all now. So let's start building. So we don't need the cover sheet anymore, we need the build guide. And we need the sprues, and I still can't find my snips. Well, I found the GW snips and I've come to the conclusion the wire cutters are a damn sight lot better. The wire cutters are definitely a damn sight lot better. So I'm sticking with the wire cutters. Obviously with a file and a dinging knife as well, just to make sure. So what do we need first? We need to build that bit, and then we need to put that bit on it. So to build that bit is part 1 and part 37. And then that last bit to go in the back there is 17. So parts 1 and 37 should all be on the big one. So 37 is that. That's easy enough. 1 should be one of the wheel archy things. So, well, that says 3. Yeah, so 1's that one. And 17 kind of looks like that one. Yep, there it is. So that's those 3. Let's clip them out and get them glued together. If my glues are, have I got a glue unblocker? I don't know. Oh yes, I have. I've got a glue unblocker. I'm all right. We're okay. We've got a glue unblocker. I have to do it off camera though. I'm not allowed to do it on camera. I'm trying to be careful when pardon me. Trying to be careful when making the snips. Even though I am using big clunky wire cutters, you still got to be careful. So that's the first piece. And then the second piece was this one down here. And that's when it wants us to start gluing stuff. Hello Roman. Hello. And good morning Twisted. Really early in the morning for you Twisted. Welcome in Roman. We're building a Goliath Rockgrinder for Warhammer 40,000 for the Gene Stealer cults, which I'm going to look into and see if they can take some Astra Militarum hardware, and if they can I may keep hold of them, because then I can run them with Lehman Russes, and that'll be nice. But if I can't, then I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. I'm really not. But if you buy Combat Patrols issues 69 and 70, 69 being last week and 70 coming out today, you get a Goliath Rockgrinder for about half price, really. Now, with this hobby, if you either collect it all, or you kind of don't, it's weird. Right, so this section is, oh no, is that way around? How does that work? Oh, I've got it upside down. I'm a dumbass. I've got it upside down. There we go. So it goes in like that. Now we've got to put the glue on it. Now we've figured it out. Where is my nozzle cleaner? So I have had a little sneaky look through what's going to be on the reading part tonight. I couldn't help it. I was starting the magazine out so I could separate it and put it all together. Couldn't help it. And there's a lot of Gene Steelicals. Obviously, because we're building Gene Steelicals at the minute. But I was describing it, what the Gene Steelicals kind of are to Sparkles in a, look, I don't really care what your toy soldiers do. So, what are you on about? Type of way. She doesn't. She just lets me play with my toy soldiers because it keeps me happy. She's also about it now. So, I've figured out how to describe the Gene Steelicals, and essentially, oh, come and eat me. Right up until the moment that the brain washing wears off, and then they realise, oh shit, they've come to eat me, and the tyranny's going nom 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 nom. And anyone who disagrees to put a power pickaxe through the head or grind them up into nothingness. He's quite strange, really. It's also quite irritating having to wait ages for stuff to dry. Part of the hobby, though, is literally waiting for stuff to dry. Possibly the most annoying part of the hobby, I must say. But sometimes you really do have to hold it in place because it wobbles and doesn't actually go right. And it's telling me I've got to put another part on before I can put the other side on, which is slightly confusing for me. Don't get me wrong, it is slightly confusing. Right, stay there and please don't wobble. Right, where have I got to glue along this one? This goes on top. This actually ends up on top there. So when it's telling me to glue it in, it's telling me to glue it in on that top bit in that section. Oh, that's fun. That's fun. What's it supposed to hold on to, dumbasses? Right, so he's going that way round and has to glue into this. I don't understand. I'm gonna have to have a look in a second. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Right, so that way around, and that's there like that. And it wants me to put this here. No, it can't want me to do that. There? Ah, there. Right, okay, so it's actually going all the way along there. So I need to glue all this side. All this side. Aha. I do have some twisted, just that for some reason they don't seem to bloody work. Because they've got flippy little ends and the weird. So I need to look at getting others. I do have some, but I just don't find the ones that I have very useful because they're not very good. I didn't purchase them, I just got given them. Ah, and only because this has come up recently. As far as my Amazon wish list goes, you can now add things to it that aren't on the list, people. So if you think, well, no, he's put a load of crap on the list, he doesn't need any of that. What he actually needs is this. You can now, as long as I think you can go to the basket and add something yourself. Or go to the wish list and kind of send something via the wish list without it being there. Don't know if that is any use, but it's possible now. Okay, so that's not that bit glued in. Now I've got to glue in a weird front section. Glare off the light. So clip out 23 and it glues onto here, and it becomes this large front section which kind of props up this a bit more. And then we get to put on the other side. Right, no, let's do that because that's good. We want to put on the other side and we want to put that on as quickly as possible to give it stability. So we clip out this front grill bit here, which I've found ridiculously easily apparently. Part 23, have you actually labelled it right? You can't see on that side. Yep, they have. Miracles do happen. Actually bloody labelled it right for a change. I've got a feeling I'm going to be made a fool of on this one, because normally when I do these, it's because you don't get parts on the second. You don't get parts to complete it until the actual second sprue, and it's more than just, well, you can build 5 and then build 5 the next time. There's normally certain pieces on the second sprue. It's like you need them in the first part. I've got a feeling this is going to be one of the rare cases where no, not really. Which I'm not going to be happy about. That's a nasty little burr there. That really is. That requires a knife, because that looks like it's going to be a glue point as well. So I'm not cutting it off, I'm scraping it off. Which probably sounds absolutely horrible on microphone, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm hoping I've actually got audio. I'm checking that now. I could have gone through all this for full 15 minutes again without realising I've got audio. I didn't mess about with the audio, I just messed about with the cameras. Because I figured it was better to have this in high resolution. So. Right, so this bit wants to glue onto this floppy over bit at the moment. I'm going to move that sprue out of the way because it's not helping with the balance. So if I put you like that for a moment, I want to glue in front of all this. And then on there. Okay. And then that bit is going to slot in. and go on that section and join up nicely. Aye, you're going to join up nicely, just like you're supposed to. I just broke half of it apart in my impatience. I may have to, no, that should still set okay. Maybe not. Don't be impatient, lads. Good morning, D. Good morning. Have I caught you at a coffee break? This is going to be models 2, 3 and 4 knocked out today. Or you're not going to go for a... Oh no, you're not going for numbers this year, are you? You're going for techniques. I believe you said. I may be wrong. Possibly. I'm still under heavy medication at the moment, so who knows. Hold that there, and hold it like this. That should solve the problem. So pinching it there, and then holding that bit on the front. The joys of hobbying in the miniature hobby world. Holding things in place while they dry. So how's everyone's start of the new year been? I hope it's all been good and fruitful. Have you got new plastic? Is it still grey? Mine is, you can see. I put it together on Monday, it's still grey. I might base coat it. I may base coat them off camera and just leave them as that because I need to wait for the conversions really. Or do I paint them? No, I think I should paint them up first and then do the conversions. Anyway, hopefully that is now set in. No, that's not. That bit is not level. I'm going to have to run glue down here, which doesn't help with the, and then I'm going to have to press and hold. And then this is a pressure one as well, so this is going to be fun. And that's just to get it back being what I think is level. What I did see the dragster, and you say that's the only thing you've done this year. That was bloody cool. The way he's launching off those rocks is well done, mate. That's nice. That is very nice. Crap! This is what I hate about vehicles. This is what I hate about vehicles. This is why I much prefer infantry. Good morning, Graham. Good morning. I hope you're feeling a bit better. I'm medicated at the moment and not a great night's sleep either, so it's a combination of the two making cognitive functions a little bit more interesting. So yeah, I've got that to do. But I hope you're feeling better, man, because I know you've not been feeling too good recently. Children have brought home traces of man flu, and you have copped for it once again. And you want to know what that is? That's karma for sending me fucking gnome videos, you git. You sent me gnome videos, don't expect too much sympathy. I hope you feel better, but yeah, it's still karma. It's because you've dealt with gnomes now. They've tainted you. And don't say they don't, because they do. You're living proof. Gnomes are evil little fuckers. Right, so this is going to be the other side, so it's probably going to be under there, on top of that, under there. I'm not sure it's going to be under or over there. Definitely in there though. And then it's going to slot in on this side. Yeah, it is underneath on that side. And it is like that there. And it is like that there. And now it puts it. Hold it kind of in place, and it's not quite met on the other side. There's a little bit of a gap, which is disappointing. Yeah, that dragster, it is. Can't deny it. Look, as I say, Twisted does some of the best bases, possibly the best bases I've seen on YouTube, and even he agrees. That dragster, yeah, that's one of those. I'm putting that on display type of pieces. Even if people don't know what 40k is, it just looks cool. They might just think it's some Mad Max piece. They might just think it's something else because they'll just know it looks cool. It's very well done on that, mate. Excellent piece of work. However, I'm struggling to put together this Rockgrinder because I don't like doing vehicles. So now I need a part 6 and a part 30. 30 looks like the tiniest little nubbly. Okay, part 6 first. Don't get distracted, lads. This is supposed to be a way for you to focus. I get distracted so easily. I do. Right, so this is going to go. Right, let's turn it around so it's in the right way. Now we can see the instructions. It's going to be this bit that goes down on here. The light glare doesn't help. So it's supposed to clip in. How? It's not exactly flat down there. Oh, it's flat on the fucking picture, but it is sure as hell ain't flat on the actual fucking model. Right, I can see where you want me to put it. I can. And I understand what you want me to do. But you put a bleeding girder in the way. As well as other things. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Have I put that on the wrong? Because if I have, then not only am I an idiot. Yeah, I have. I put that on the wrong side. I was supposed to put that on the top, not the bottom. And that explains the gap that I had at the back. So, a quick resetting, lift up, and look. That's me being an idiot. That's not the instructions. That's me being an absolute moron. This is why I don't like vehicles. Vehicles are overly complicated for what they bloody end up being. So now this should go. Now this should go. Okay. Now this is going to take fiddling and finunking because it's supposed to be. Is it supposed to hang over? No, it's supposed to be flush. Doesn't make it clear whether it's supposed to hang over or it's supposed to be flush. So I am supposed to be able to glue along that edge, just not on any of that edge. But that's a big overlap. But that's as far in as it goes, so it's got to be the way it goes, hasn't it? Right, I'm going to have to put glue in because it's the only way it seems to go. It does not fit any other way. And that's the longer one. The other one's supposed to be shorter because he's going to go over this wheel arch. That's a 7, which may be the first. Oh no, there it is. Yeah, that will be why you have a headache, Graham. Please go get a drink. That's a very clever idea. Hopefully you have one by now. So do I, or even when I've got a drink, I forget to actually drink it. So by the time I get round to my cup of tea, if I'm lucky, it's lukewarm. If not, it's cold. Which, thank you for the reminder, everybody. And I'm using my Bear's Paws coaster as well. Not coaster, bear mat, but I've covered it up and I'm using it still. Yeah, that's not a good thing, D. Although saying that, I did forget to breathe when I was playing certain games when I was younger. That was not a good thing. Have I already? No, I've not already glued that, but there was a little bit of glue from when I did the relocation of the base. Right, it must have to go like that one because that does the same. Fair enough. Right, so next onwards, we need 30, which is a tiny little bit. We're looking for a tiny little bit. There it is. See that bit there? That's the bit it wants us to do next. This better be a really integral part of the model. Because I'm risking losing this, and I don't even know if I'm going to be able to clip this out. It's just in such a position that risk of loss is more important than being in shot in this small case. There we go. See that? That's what it was to do. That's one way to make sure you're... Yep, that's a reminder to make sure you stay hydrated. Kidneys don't suck. Yeah, don't fancy passing those. Make sure you drink. Right, now that we've done 30, we can move on to this bottom bit down here. And that is telling us to do this side, which I've just preemptively done because I have. We need 9, which is going to be the plate to cover there, and 32, which is going to go on there, and then 44, which is going to go on the back. Okie dokies. I can do that. Right. So there's 44. So that's going to go on the back there. with also looking ahead slightly, because I opened issue 69 and 70 so I could get both sprues out. When I had a quick flick through the magazine to see which bits I needed for this first part, I did notice that just at the beginning of the painting section it's going to tell us to not glue certain bits together and then apply blue tack or some other form of holding it together in the meantime until you want to paint it. Which one's not been done? So not all of it's going to get glued together today. It's going to be different. Hello. Abinia Maths. Hello. I'm sorry. I'm absolutely awful at doing screen names. This is making a Goliath Rockgrinder. If you've been collecting the Warhammer 40,000 Hachette Powerworks magazine, I think that's it. Yeah, that should be everything. But essentially, it's a fantasy tanky thing for Warhammer 40,000. If you play Warhammer 40,000, some of that may have made sense to you. If you do not play Warhammer 40,000, then you've probably got a lot of questions going. Right, okay, that made no sense. What you're doing? In which case, you just jumped into one hell of a rabbit hole. You have just jumped into one hell of a rabbit hole. But yes, I'm putting the model together in this instance, so it's a model for a sci-fi fantasy game. Let's make it easy. Let's not scare people off. I've learned that. God, I put a lot of glue on this crap. He's going to need more glue soon. Really am. Okay, that is not a flush joint. I'm going to have to hold it, and I'm going to have to apply pressure. I'm going to have to wait until the actual plastic bonds to get it as flush as possible, and it's not going to be completely flush, sadly. Ooh, Twisted Nerves painting. You're excited, and that sounds a bit rightly so. You have your first pieces of channel swag ordered. Ah, see, I've never done a proper logo. Everyone's doing merch, and I mean, Nick from Positive Mental Attitude, beer mats, pub related stuff that's not alcohol, as well as weird stuff from his community, which is why I have 3 Ninja Potatoes. Everyone seems to have merch, and I don't have anything. I don't even have a logo. How do you do this YouTube stuff? I have no idea. See, now you've got your logo on stuff, although you've got 2 cats on yours. That's cheating. Putting cats on your merch is cheating. Because people don't even know what you are, might even buy it just because it's got cats on it. So this is going to go that way around. Okay. And this one is number 9. And it's a weird little plate thing that goes on there. Like so. Yay, we got a nice easy piece. I'm going to give myself a clap. Okay, why not? Next is 32. 32 is a little panel. There it is. I'm looking forward to seeing what merch Twisted Nerve painting does. I'm doing well not smacking my head on the little camera, aren't I? Because we've seen what happens when cameras get put above me. I'm not gonna lie. I end up banging my head. I'm doing well with this one, I think. Sadly, D, I am not going to Chilcon. I would have had I not had something more important to save for, because I'm getting married towards the end of the year, so I can't afford to go this year, sadly. But hopefully next year. I don't know if it's going to be a single day or both the Saturday and Sunday. Of course, Graham's going to be there because at least one day. What day? Promote yourself, Graham. Go on. I can't remember all your shit. I can't even remember all my shit. So go ahead, lads. Promote yourself. Crack on. While I figure out what I'm going to be doing with now the front end of this. So he wants us to clip out number 8, which is this big section here. That looks so mech-like. So you'll be having a stand on Saturday, and you'll be a participant and purchaser on Sunday. Well, here's hoping Saturday goes well. I've seen a couple of early renders, shall we say, of what you wish to achieve and what you are doing there, and no, it looks good. Nice range. Bits of stuff for everyone that you're looking to cater for within your, obviously, market in the future, and hopefully very near future. Let's just clean up a couple. I probably should have cleaned up a few more burrs on that, and it might fit together properly. But yeah, if I was going, I know there'd be a couple of things that I'll be picking up while I was there. For instance, I believe you have at least one of each of certain D&D character sets. I'd certainly be interested in those. Some very nice ones. Those Amazonians do look good, especially if you wanted to run them as what are they called? Not the serpenty people. What are they called? Crap. I forgot what they're called now. But it's the serpent people in D&D. What the fuck are they called? But yeah, for playing those, can't remember what they're called. Yeah, they are a little bit out of the D, but they're well worth it. So along there and along the bottom. Good job it tells you where to glue. thinking I should have perhaps dry fitted this a bit first, but never mind. Tally ho and all that, whatnot. Let's do it. And hold it in place again. Pressure. Under pressure. Hold it in place. Wait for it to dry. So yeah, I was saying earlier, I'm looking forward to tonight because I've seen one of the stories. I'm going to get to have fun tonight. Also going to have a sore throat. But I've got a lot of... I'm saving that to the very last, so I've got a lot of Gene Stealer stuff to cover first. And then I'm going to do what I think is my personal fun bit. And I think what some people actually like as well. Nope, not dried yet. Separating. All my thumb stuck to that on the back. That's plastic glue. This is taking a while. And I've got two 11s and then basically the grippers for the plough, the grinder bit at the front. No worries, D. Good luck at the meeting. You're so lucky you get to do meetings at home. We won't be spending we're not looking to go for too much on House Twisted. I mean, they're not cheap. No, weddings aren't cheap. But we're not going overly extravagant. But we're not going like cut every corner. We're just making clever purchases and clever decisions as opposed to squandering money we're putting in. Using it wisely, which is a novelty for me. I buy 40k, I don't use money wisely. This is ridiculous. Right, we need a 35 and a 34, which are both there, and two 11s. 11s are more of them really little tiny things. I knew it was going to happen eventually. And I just hit my head off the camera. 11 are those two little tiny things right there. See, that's an excellent idea. Having the party in a public park next to some gardens doesn't mean that the public can come and join, but if you live in a generally nice area and you've got things set up, most people will usually respect and not come and try and spoil it. If you're lucky. I live in a town of raging alcoholics, so I wouldn't be doing that. So there is a specific way around these are supposed to go. Because they've got a flat bit on them. This is where a pair of decent tweezers would really come in useful right now. Well, luckily because they're identical, they both go in the same thing, but so bloody small. Actually getting them into the place they need to go is a pain in the bum. It really is. I want to use a file and a pokey device and poke them into place. There we go. That's 3 of those things he's made me put on now. You better do something. And yeah, 34 and 35. Now these actually have a specific way around to go. So 35 goes on this side, and 34 goes on this side. Now remembering that I'm reversed, just as I point that out, there are little pegs and a little nubby bit that I think are going to help guide it on. And just remember which one you've snipped out, and don't snip them both out together unless you're very, very sure you can tell them which one's which. Otherwise it would have just given us 2 34s. So this is 34, so this goes on the far side. The far side. Pretty easy to know where to glue because it's only this bit that's going in, and then it slots in there, like so at the front. See? And now we get to put the other one in there. Being careful because I'm using big chunky wire cutters instead of nice snips, because I can't find my blue ones and I don't know where they've gone. Disappeared. I need to sort my desk out as well. In higher resolution now, so well, I hope so. If someone can clarify whether or not I'm actually in 1080, that'd be wonderful, because I should be, but I don't know if I am. At least on the desk, not my face. No, I'm not that cruel to people. I am not that cruel to people. You don't have my face in 1080. Nobody deserves that. Right, so that's that top section done. So now we're down to this section. So we have pipes, hammer! We have a hammer. I don't see a hammer on here. Where's the hammer? I didn't see a hammer. Why can't I see a hammer? Where's the other one? Is a hammer on here? There is. There's a hammer on there. You did do well to get it that cheap, bloody hell. That is cheap. How'd you manage that? No, don't matter, because we're not going to be able to. You got married at a different time, there was inflation, blah blah blah. I believe so, Twisted. How did you find the law? Well, no, you are building from Ultramarines, so no, it is possible to find the law for that, because they've named every bloody thing at some point or another for Ultramarines. Every single one of the 1,000 Marines probably has a story and background somewhere, and a few extras just in case some of those have died, or they want to make some of those die. So there's probably more than 1,000 Ultramarines, and they have stories galore. Okay, so this piece is 31, and it's the window. Very small little window, and these little jaggedy bits go at the bottom when you glue it on. I can't zoom this in, sadly. It's not got a zoom like that camera, and that camera won't do 1080 because my computer's a dick. Oh, the camera's a dick. One of the two. Either way, they don't like me. They don't all work together. They might just not like each other. His honoured brother, Gaius Praebian, the champion of the second company of the Ultramarines chapter. Does that mean that he's... Yeah, he's part of Titus's thingy. He's part of the 500 Worlds. That's coming out soon. Not that I'm going to buy it, but it's coming out soon. I might get Titus. Can you buy him on his own? Maybe we can buy him on his own. I really do, that would be good. Right, anyway, back onto building this. We need a 108, which you know is on there, a 109, which is probably going to be on the other sprue as well. And we need a 26 and a 27, which I would say is on here, but I'm not entirely sure. No, it's not, they're not actually on this one. So we get to go to the untouched sprue. Right, we know 108 already, which is the hammer down here, so we can start there with that. And that gets glued onto the side of the actual hull. If you like James Blunt, think of it kind of like his guitar. 6 years, Graham, jeez. 'Tis a while, 'tis a while. And many, many more years to come. What you signed up for. You both of you. Don't ask why I'm removing the mould lines from a hammer and I don't do it from the other bigger. The hammer deserves more respect, that's why. It is a hammer after all. Not only is it a tool for building, it can be a tool for destroying. It is a very, very useful tool to have access to. And this is supposed to glue where? Just onto the side of the... Just along here, and just along here. Right, just because of the what you've chose makes it that, because, well, second company at the moment is getting a lot of love regarding the Ultramarines from Games Workshop, because that's Titus's company, so they're getting a lot of love. Aha, we found 26 and 27 now. I really can't tell the time sometimes. Sparkles disappeared. Sorry. She moves silently. Or at least to me she does. Big lip 26 and 27. And now we smash them together with glue. And we smash them together with glue. We smash them together with glue. A decade is too long, a decade is a very long decade. So you smash it together with glue. Shh. Got a telephone sometimes. And sometimes you've got to sort your neck out and realise that you're doing stuff and messing around when you shouldn't be. There we go, that should sort it out. And now we have these things, which glue on there. I don't get what. That works. I'm not quite sure where these are supposed to actually glue on. because of the way that the thingies are angled. It will be. It looks like it's supposed to go on there, and it kind of feels like it fits on there with the two angles and the way it's set up. So I'm going to spodger glue on the very base bits. It doesn't have any direct circular slots for it to go into or on, so I'm going to go with feel on this one and hope I don't get it in the wrong place. Seems like this is the right place to put it. It does. Just got to wait for it to actually dry now, or at least become a strong enough bond where I can let go without it doing that. Which obviously means I didn't get it right. I've not left it long enough. See, that's not connecting there, that's not connecting there. There is certain points where it's just not connected. If you just hold it slightly the wrong way, it's just not holding. Sorry, I'll bring it back into camera shot so I can. It really is the annoying part of doing this. That seems more occupied to me than. Because it looks like it's supposed to go straight up. It does. It looks like it's supposed to go straight. So I'm going to try and get it straight. Wow, 27 years. And yeah, didn't you not kill each other? That's something. That is something. Good morning, Buzzard. It is still morning. Good morning, Buzzard. I don't know if you clocked it on Monday, but yeah, you had the third potato named after you. So you have the hairy potato. This is now Buzzard. Ah, fuck. And that's what I get for pissing around and being a dick. Eight years for you, D. Jeez. Is everybody else married but me at this moment in time? Not that it's something, you know, you do for a contest or anything. It's just, I think everybody else is married now. Well, most people I know anyway. Most of my friends are, as far as I know. I might be wrong on that, I suppose. Yeah, most of them. Actually, no, because they're not married yet either. So. Never mind. There's a good chance that it's actually just swinging the other way and gone in the favour of the not married but together folks, or single folk. And I was so lucky I've just dropped that piece twice. That is so thin and ridiculous, and not managed to. You could be many things, but a hairy potato is not one of them. Not a chance. Sorry, the dice rolled different. I had 12 names. Yours was on there. I was number 11. I rolled the dice. Well, I spanned the dice, and he got an 11. Could have been a Kirsty. Could have been a Graham. I kind of wanted it to be a Graham because he's been sending me gnome stuff, so he's proper airy spud. Yeah, that doesn't actually join up. Right, okay. Now we need 245s, which are like handholds. Rogue's Dead Hobbies would not have been a good name for it. "45s, where are you? 45s, where are you? There are two of you. You're on small, you know. So where are the 45s? There they are. Tiny, tiny little bloody things. Look at that. I mean, Twisted and Graham, if you really wish to, I can change them. Nick and Mandy are staying though. They made them. They sent them. Right, those are the two handles. These are a lot of fiddly bits. I don't like this concentrating lack. I really don't. These really fiddly bits are not fun. I don't know, I can see them. There's lots more of them. Right, next. 111, 110. No, sorry, not 110, just 10. Just 10. So 10 is on this one. That's there. Yeah, okay, on the screen. There we go. 10 is on this one. Right, that's easy enough. The spotty side is the side that's up. Not the side with the ring lip thing is the bit you're going to use to glue down. Okay, and then 111 is a rail that goes in front of it. It's a straight rail. Why is it a straight rail? That doesn't make sense. Oh. Right, that goes on that bit. And the straight rail's on the other bloody sprue. One. Yeah, 101. 101. It's not on that one as well, is it? No, there's no barrier things on that one. And it's a single kind of, so it's only a small loop. So it's, there it is, 111. It's as just as I was saying, it's only a small loop. It's that one. This has got 2 tiny pins. Right, let's get this in. Blob of glue in there. Blob of glue in there. Now. Pop in the rail. There we go. Is that it for that one? That's it for that page. Right, we roll the shit out of the way. Now, we turn it over and we've got more stuff to do. So we've got to physically make up the rail for that section. Physically make up the box for that section and that section. Right, okay. There's lots of little bits to do here. So we'll start with the rail. Rail? Does that sound like a good idea? It actually sounds like a better idea to construct the rail on here. I might be wrong. It's a good possibility, but I might not. It's looking like it's a good idea to put the rail on there. No, we'll try building the rail how it wants us to first, which is build the rail separately and then glue the rail on afterwards with the pin legs. So we find all the flimsiest, tiniest bits that he's got on the entire model, which is that one, and then a 24 and an 89. No, I spotted an 89 a minute ago. There it is, and 24 is right next to it, luckily. So clip the 24 out, because these are really fiddly and fine. This is where you want nice, clean, sharp cuts from your snips. You don't want it to be dragging or bending the plastic. So rather than using the GW ones, which are not so great, I'm using big chunky metal cutters, because the cut cleaner, if you can get them in right. The cut cleaner than GW ones, if you get an actual pair of modelling snips, a decent pair, then they will cut much better than these. I do have a half decent pair, and they're not very expensive. You can get them from quite cheap modelling kits. Hello, Sharma? I can't see the other bit because it actually locked over my face, which is distorting the limits. But yeah, hello, welcome in. Building railings is so exciting, so exciting. It is actually because the railings are going to go part of a tank, well, a grindy up thing, and it's going to help xenomorph alien things take over the galaxy. Weird intro to the channel, but yeah, welcome in. We're building a Goliath Rockgrinder for Warhammer 40,000 today. And it is fiddly work. It is fiddly work. Now once you've got the railings need to go into these bits. So you put a spot of glue in all them little holes, and then you try and hope to bloody hell heaven, and whoever else wants to lend a hand while they're at it, that you've lined it all up right, so nothing snaps when you put it in like that, you see. Essentially, yeah, as Twisted says there, get a good set of steel. Good steel is what you need. Which I was lucky enough to get a set of, but I can't find them now. Oh, it wants us to put the wheels axles in as well. Okay. And because it's got enough room for you to put the actual piece in below without putting the T section in, it's making sure that you know how to do that by giving you a big red and blue section here going, do it that way, don't do it that way. Idiot guide. Idiot. So yeah, it works. That's what I mean. Even the so-called good ones, the ones that charge you billion, way over the odds and prices for what you should charge for snips and modelling stuff. Basically, you get a game attacks. It's ridiculous, and it shouldn't happen. And especially annoying when they break really fucking easily, because they are literally just slapping on a game attacks. It's not nice. Right, next we need 21, 22 and 18. Hopefully all them are on here. There's an 18. There's a 21. So the side box section that's going to ask us to build for this bit, move that out of the way, it's alright, for this bit, is all around here. And 18, 21, 22 first. Even though it does run 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. That's not the order you put them together in. Why would it be? That would just make bloody sense, wouldn't it? We don't want to do that. Like the Warhammer 40,000. We want everything to be daft and stupid and ludicrous. Oh, those fiddly bits. Right, so there's an 18. And the curved bit goes towards the back, right? Got you. Which is the open bit for 22 and 21. See, so you got the slight gap bit there with a very small overhang, and the same again on this one. And that's the bit that's going to go towards where the curved bit is on 18. If you've got one in front of you and you are building one, and for some reason you do not have the instructions, and I am the only way you can get instructions to build them. If I am, I'm really sorry, but I hope I'm at least helpful in some way if you are doing that. No, I'm not snipping out on screen, but that's because I don't want to smack me out of the bloody camera. Something I'm going to have to get used to now, changed. But it should at least be in a high enough resolution so you can... I hope that's just the painting stuff. Hopefully it's now in a higher resolution so you can actually see what's going on. Right, I clicked out 18, 21. Did I not click out 22? No, clipped on 20. What's 22 gone? Did that fall when I did that? Oh no. Where's 22 gone? Oh, there it is. I thought I lost it then. Woo. You snapped a pair of God hands. They're overly expensive, like ridiculously expensive. That's stupid. Well, like going out and spent that much on a pair of snips is just daft anyway. They are supposed to be really good, I understand that. And they're built for Gunpla, really, because they want that smooth finished edge. Gunpla goes to the similar levels of scale model builders with the amount of detail and effort they will put in to make sure the model's right. Make sure it's all smooth, it's all flush. It's how it's supposed to be. But spending that much on a pair of Lincoln Snips is ridiculous. I don't think any of mine have costs more than low double figures. And these usually come with something else as well if they've come like that. Or they've been free of charge because I've been given them off somebody who's left the hobby. Glue down here. And then that fits in very specifically there, and then run my hand around the other one, around the table to try and find the other one because it's small enough to just blend in with the actual instructions. Clean off a few of the edges. It's a bit rough. They were a bit rough, these cuts. They were a bit rough. Okay, that was that one cleaned up. Now a bit of glue on that, and that one goes on as well. And that's the first part of that done. Then it's 20 and 19 which make up the last parts of it. And then that gets to get glued onto the side. So many little. Yep. Right, 19 and 20. There's 19, there's 20. Lots of little bits to make up one little bit to go on the side. I know it's because it's just made up of all flat panels, so it should be relatively easy. But with some of the pieces, they probably could have done slightly differently. I don't know how, because I've not sat down to actually bother designing it. But some of it just seems labour intensive for the sake of being labour intensive rather than actual function and form. Sometimes I think they've done more to try and fit the right amount of plastic in or the minimal amount of plastic in for what they've got to do, rather than actually making the bloody thing properly. But that's my opinion. I'm quite possibly wrong. One thing I do know is certainly cheaped out on weapon options for units and maximised how much they can get per specialised unit now. You Twisted, you were a jeweler for many a years, and the first two things they taught us in school was one, how to make 85% of our own tools, and two, that you should buy once and cry once rather than waste on crap. Fair enough. easy way of saying, look, you gotta get it, but make sure you get it right first. Get it right and don't whinge about it if you get it wrong. Get it wrong, go make it right. As far as well, that's what that is. Not bad advice. Especially if you're doing something like jewellery making. Because you're certainly going to want the right tools. Because they are a very specific tool set. Okay, there is the box. And the box goes on this section here with a little hole in it. Ready for that slot. And it's underslung under there. So then that goes essentially around there. And then slots in there. There we go, that was nice and easy. And then see it right. What have I just moved? Ah, it's that pipe. Bugger. Right, see all that stuff under there? Do you know what he's going to make us do? He's going to make us glue a panel over it. Why? Because it hates us. So he's going to make us look for a flat panel, number 40. And he's going to make us glue it over that. And it's not even like it's completely flat. You can't see through it. It does give you the option to have a 41 instead, and that's an open version. Doesn't tell you that on here. It just tells you to glue in number 40, which I'm gonna do. Or should I? No, I think I'll actually I'm gonna have it open. Screw you guys, I'm doing it my way. It's one of the few options I'm getting to make on this one, so I'm going to make that option. So you've still got some of your original tools twisted. Some of your old tools. That's cool, but yeah, as you've said there, you've also got tools that have been endlessly replaced because you just can't get them anymore. And the tool makers aren't out there either, which doesn't help. So the people who were trained to be able to make said tools to do said precision work, they're not there to do it anymore. And because machine can do a lot of that work now instead, you end up just not having the tools around, which is a shame, because handcrafting is something that I think should stay. Because if we lose the ability, it's going to be rather difficult to teach what you don't know. So we might end up losing that as a complete ability as well, as a species, if we don't book our ideas up. Too much reliance on bloody computers to do our work for us. See, again, all this inside here is going to make us cover. I don't see the point in some of this. It may be because this can be the transport variant as well. It doesn't have to be the Goliath Rockgrinder, which is a big charge you up, ploughy melee vehicle. It runs you over and grinds you up into mincemeat. That's its purpose. Well, it's not. Its purpose is to grind up and drill tunnels. The Gene Stealer cults just use it for grinding up enemies, people, orcs, Eldar. Well, anyone who doesn't want them to do what they're doing. Typical 40k. If they don't agree with you, you're allowed to blow them up. Hello, Complex. And I can see you this time. I can see you. What? That's a decent one. Alright, hopefully that's flattened out that bit that I need to flatten out a bit more, which was the last big part, and it was, does it actually give me the number for that at all? No, it doesn't actually give me the number for that, it just hopes you can guess it off the big sheet because there's not much left on it. It's nice of them, isn't it? I think it was number 17, but I can't be certain. It might have been number 29. Either way, we want 107 and 90 and then 118. No, 118 is here. 118 is this little double box thing right here. So I can see waving from Complex, but I can't. I don't know if you've typed anything else, mate. I can't see that. I saw the wave high. But I can't see any other comments unless you've nipped over to the not portrait one. I know I should have a click live thing to take you to the stream in this portrait mode view. I just don't know how to do it. Right, so this is supposed to stand up and use this boxy bit to glue into here. And then you end up with it like that. Okay. So it's mostly the bottom down here and this section. There we go. And then we need the railings. Oh, sorry, it's not 80, it's 90, which is 107 and 90 right next to each other here. And luckily it's all snip, snip, snip down one side. And that's 107, which goes along the long side. Does it? No, it goes along the short side because it's only got 3. I'm sorry, that's even not even one. Oh, that was 107. And 107 is supposed to have 4. But it doesn't. 90 has 4. Well done again, Hachette, you got it right. My cat's snoring. Thought you'd like to know that. My cat is currently asleep on the sofa behind me, snoring. So little tiny drops in those. And slot in the rails. Right, so that should now be that section ready to go onto the back of here, which goes on and covers all that door and most of all this lot. That's clever. Let that glues on all the way along there, along there, along there, and along the top of the door. Now there's another section that we've got to glue into place along here as well, but we've not got that bit out yet. We're going to just get this bit into place first, because it has to go on the back, and the back's been being a pain all build. She's stopped now, but yeah, she does snore sometimes. And now we need part 14 to cover up that hole in the back. So all that detail that's on the inside is now covered up and can't be seen. They don't tell you whether or not this is an alternate build for the transport though. At no point do they say this. Actually, if you was to buy it from the original retailer, you'd get this set of instructions. Instead, we give you these instructions specifically for us, so you can build the model that we want you to build. If you have prior knowledge of the kit, then you may be able to make use out of other parts or build it as something else. Like next week, for instance. We know what we're getting next week. We're getting the Cadian Command Squad. Now, within that Cadian Command Squad, the actual commander can take various different weapons. There's going to be a veteran in there that's going to be able to take various different weapons. And they'll come on the sprue. But the actual magazine will tell you to put specific ones on. Now, if you know what those weapons would do, and you would prefer them, obviously, you can choose to make that change. Even if the magazine says don't do that because we want you to build it this way, because if you actually put that on, it'll not quite balance it how we want it to be balanced, which is a bit of a shame. Oh, you're supposed to put this bit in first. Oh shit. Well, I should be able to angle it up and then push that there like that. There we go. Okay, next is the bit it tells you not to mess up. Now it's these four right in the middle, and they are the parts where you're going to mount the wheels to. They don't want us to glue the wheels on yet because they want us to be able to remove it to paint it. Could have done that with some of the other stuff that we've done so far, but you've not given the instructions to, so I didn't know. I could have gone and looked, but if you was building it off week one, then and you've got so far, then you can't go back. So I'm going to do it off that, and I know I twisted that off there. I don't mean twisted in this painting, I mean I twisted the plastic off, and that is a very big cardinal sin, but I do not have any snips I'm going to get in there, and I don't fancy cutting my bloody fingers off with a knife. And as these will be covered by wheels, 100% by wheels, I don't mind a little bit of twisty just to make sure I get them out. I'd rather do that than accidentally gouge a big chunk out of it, or even snap it to cut it to the point where it's unusable. I would much rather do that. Right, now this is the bit where it tells us don't be a tit. Essentially, at the top of each of these, it's got these sections here. Now, in the instructions, it says, look, even though it fits down there-ish, don't put it down there. It's supposed to go in that section there. So there's supposed to be a little bit of a gap at the bottom. So it even tells us in these instructions, and these instructions get stuff wrong, but so this must be important to get right. So we'll make sure we get that right. That has to go in like that. And we're only putting glue in the T bits to make sure that's the bit where we've got to put it, because that's the only bit that's glued. Bit of force where necessary because I've twisted it and not shaved it down, which has left it a little rough. It's not too bad because it will melt in the glue and then it'll help kind of friction fit it a little, as long as you don't have too much. If you have too much, it just won't go in. There we go, that's that one. And the last one, number 4 for the last of the wheel axle thingies. This has got fragile bits on it now, so holding it to put pressure on, not always good. Well, it is. GW building stuff sometimes it's the model itself is just being awkward for awkward's sake. Right, we've done that page now. And we've done the other page, so now we're up to, yeah, it repeated what we've got to do there. And now we wish to glue that on, which it's told us to do. And now we've got a ladder to go on the back here. And then we start building a gun, which is called a clearance incinerator. This weapon lets out searing gouts of flame. So, only a big flamethrower. Got it. Where's that ladder go? There it is. Whew. Right, okay. I'm going to take a break after putting this ladder on, because I've already done those 2 bits, and then it's moving on. That's section 1 finished, and it's going to move on to section 2, which is building guys and putting other bits on, and God knows what bloody else. Really, no idea. But I know we've got a big gun, and I know we've got people to build, so yeah. I was saying there should be at least 2 places there and 2 places somewhere else that this is supposed to fit. Now see the 2 places up here at the top, but what I'm just going to do is from there I'm going to glue those 2, because that's where the ladder's supposed to go. And then I'm just going to put a spot on these 4 bits. And then hold it in place from there afterwards. Hopefully that'll work. Yep. Land Raiders, anything with tracks, no, fuck right off. Do not like things with tracks. They are the most awkward of awkward. They're just ridiculously obtuse with how bad they are. Just lining them up and making sure they're all nicely done together. Okay, we've got to the... No, I'm going to continue going. I'm going to continue. No, I'm also losing concentration. That's not good, is it? Okay, I will be back soon. Let's go have a look at YouTube and Arius Nation for a moment and get us some music to listen to in the moment while I'm not here. Listen to my computer scream. We'll go back to the good old original Starbound. You would like scale model tanks, Graham. You're You're sadistic. Okay, so I'm gonna just nip away for a moment. I've not completely finished my tea, but it's going cold and I'm well into it. To the point where now I actually near enough finish it. I shall be back soon, and I hope you enjoy the music.
Every fall just feels
It is. It is brew time. You are correct, Buzz. It is. Right, I didn't actually make a brew, I just finished off mine. Let's carry on, shall we? Now everyone else is refreshed. I've finished my hydration. And we are now on to building the clearance incinerator. So a lot of that's going to be on this brew, I should imagine. Starting with 49 and 46. Okay, at least they're near each other. 49 and 46 right there. And we don't get 47 and 48 until halfway down here. Right, okay. Let's clip those bits out first then. Put the start of the main weapons up and running, and I forgot to close that window. Which for some reason, asking the computer to do less has just made it whir up even more. Still don't get this machine. Oh well, hopefully I'll get a chance to upgrade it in the next year or two. That'll be nice. Obviously we have 11th edition coming out this year as well, which will be Orcs and Space Marines. I do want at least one of those box sets. If not two, if I can get my hands on them. And that'll be a whole new set of painting and things to put together towards the end of the year. Or for the latter half of the year anyway. Right, we're on that. And then slot them two pieces together. That's that bit. Now we need parts 4 and 5, which are two very small, looks like flamery bits, flavor tips. Nope, they're on the other sprue. They're on the sprue that was near enough empty. And it's right up in this corner here. 4 and 5. Let's turn it around this way just to make it easy. Or easier. Not necessarily bloody easy. It's not even like they make the rules easy. The day the rules bloody come out, there's an FAQ and things telling you, oh, we've done this wrong and you've got to do this instead now. That book you just spent 30 odd quid on, or 50 or more if you've bought limited editions, is now useless. Well, not useless, but everything in it's not actually what it's supposed to be anymore. Or at least these bits, so you now you've got to print out this other thing and stick it in. Well done. Well done. You think as a company that's worldwide and rather bloody large. Is it supposed to have a gap? Yes, it is supposed to have a gap. But they would get it right first fucking time, really, wouldn't you? Apparently not. Okay, now it's got a very specific way of going on, which is that bit has got a slot into there. Bloody hell, that's a tight fit. That is a tight fit. In fact, that's actually forced it apart a bit. It has. And this glue is running out. I don't know, it's certainly not going to last the rest of the year, I know that much. Let's hope it lasts the rest of Combat Patrol though. I should have another one somewhere, but this one is the one that seems to be easiest to find. And now we have a flamer. Okay. So that's that bit done, and now we've got 40. No, we've not completely got a flame, we've got 542 now. Which is the very, very front bit, it's the actual saving you drilling it out yourself bit. So it's just 4 things in a very small cluster right there. I mean, it is bloody tiny, see it? That is stupid. In we go with the oversized snips. big thank you to anyone who stayed and come to watch me, and especially those who have stayed. Overhead cameras. I always bang my head on. This is why I turned my cap. One of the reasons why I turned my cap backwards, because I had Bill as well. No. Wouldn't work, would it? Just wouldn't work. Can I get a bit closer with the snips on that bit? Yeah, I can. Okay, that was a bit of a big burr and on a very small piece. I didn't want to go at it with a knife. Or just try and snip it off if I could. No. Glue onto the back. And this goes in the front of here. It should clip in and go in, so into the recess, and there you've got the nice 4 barrels for the end of the flamer. So it's a very big bloody flamer, which does also have a tank and a couple of pneumatic arms. Okay, so we've got 43, which is the tanks, the fuel tanks, which are here, and then we want 2 54s, which are the pneumatic arms. Checking on that. There they are. They're down in this bottom corner, so I should be able to remember that. 43 first, though. This is the fuel tank. Oh dear, I forgot to ask, how did your meeting go? Was it boring? Was it worthwhile? If I got a silicon, see, because you can buy little resin poles yourself, can't you? That's give me an idea of that as well. Don't think Sparkles is going to be happy with the idea, but hey ho. I've not done it yet, and I've not bought anything, so I should be safe. As I do know someone with a little bit of resin, and if it is going to be a resin pour, then awesome. I believe that was a knock at my door. So luckily I got that in place. I'll be back in one moment. Hello, welcome home. So that's now held in place. Now I need the 2 pneumatic arms. Which figured out we're down in the bottom corner, weren't they? That is true. I do not have the pressure pot. I do not have the pressure pot. But you do not have an Amazon wish list for me to send it to. I think I've got your address though. Pretty sure I do have your address. I might be wrong. I have some people's addresses. I do not have others. And they get them mixed up quite a lot. End up figuring out, oh crap, now I need to ask. Right, so in this point it's the pin that goes into the hole halfway down. There's a little hole there, and the pin goes in there, and it joins up to what does it join up to? Oh, there's a very, very small circle that you've got to tilt the light towards to see, but it goes up to that. Right. So I'll show you there with the end of the. So it goes to there, and it goes from there. So once you've got it in, sometimes tweezers do come in useful, and no, I wish I had a set. There we go. So it goes in as a little cross section there. Oh yeah, you've got loads of dice. You've still got Chilcon stuff to be polishing, haven't you? I mean, you've done most of the models as far as I'm aware. You are pretty much set as far as models go, but you still need to, is it polish a couple of die sets? Or even pour them if you're doing resin pours. Okay, so now we take this and we find 47, 48. Now, because they're going to be a pairing, there they are. I'm guessing they're going to be together. And then we also want 61 and 110. So I'm going to clip these two bits out first, because the next bits is telling us to do so. Yeah. So that's 48, and this is 47. And they're going to kind of need to go together, because then they go on to the dome thing and make up the top turret gun for it. So I'm guessing it's going to be its main ranged weapon is going to be a flamer, because it does want to get in close combat. Having that big grinder on the front, it probably do more damage with that than anything else. We shall have a look later when we look at the stat sheet. So this is handy. This is a square. These are square pegs, and they've not got to go in round holes either. They've got to go in square holes. So it's kind of one of them. You can't screw it up, I think, is the idea behind these. No matter how hard you think you can screw it up, because it can go in one of 4 ways. EB, what is up, homie? And it is the start of your day today, I believe. Now, are you ready for what you've got coming up? 'Cause don't tell me you're not recording. If you tell me you're not recording, I'm not going to believe you. I know you'll be recording. We're recording something, so I know you're gonna have work to do. And congratulations, by the way. I hope you're still able to run off that energy, because it's continuing. Ooh, that was close. I nearly dropped that bit. Well, that's not good. Right, so that bit, and then we have the weird dome bit. Clip it out. Right, where's that fallen? There it is. Don't ask me why I waited for it to fall. Right, does it want me to line this in a specific way? Because that does have a thing on it too. Right, yeah, so when you put it in, you're going to want to twist it, and it's going to lock. Okay, so you're going to want to line that up with that going into one of the holes. I believe that peg is supposed to fit into one of them. There we go. Yep, found it. Glue around the rim. slot that in like so. Done. And turn it round. Pop glue in these two little runner bits, and that's where you're going to slot the gun in. Oh, I'm going to slot the gun in. I don't know if you're making one. Chances are probably not, because it's Jeans Dealer Cults after all. They don't have the biggest following. Mainly because they're all brainwashed idiots, but you can't hold everything against everyone, can you? Some people just, no matter how hard you try, you just can't be helped. And in this case it's these ones who have been tricked and then genetically modified, but not in the fun way of Space Marine is. So that is that bit, which I'm not going to try twisting just yet, but it will go in there, and then actually no, it will twist. There you go, we've got the flame cannon. Nice big flame cannon. Why have I got a feeling it's going to be lots and lots of little boring bits now? Yeah, tells you do not glue the flame cannon in. Next we have 4 sets of wheels. 4 wheels. Very easy enough. One of them, one of them, one of them. So one of them and one of them for each of them, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's simple enough. We can do that. And then is that, yeah, that's that done, and then we have to start on the actual Rockgrinder face. So it's not actually telling us to glue the wheels on yet. They are one of the pieces that it was telling us we would have to tack so we can paint properly, which is fair enough. They should be able to push fit on for now, so we shouldn't have much of a problem with that, and then they can twist off at point of painting. Same with the little dudes, they don't want you to do them either, but they do want you to glue the stuff together. And as long as the teeth go together and slot in, yeah, that way. So the teeth slot in that way and make up the treads. It should be easy enough. Yeah, in this case, glue around that bit in the middle. Press them together. One wheel done. Ooh, yeah, I don't like them big jumps in temperature. See, winter's not too bad over here, we're alright. At most we'll get about, if we're lucky, a 5-6 degree jump round winter during the main part of the day. And that's going from morning up until what? Now it's just gone lunchtime, it's now 5 degrees. 5 degrees C. And that's cold enough for me. Yesterday was bloody freezing, though it was -6 in the morning. It pretty much stayed round about the minuses and the zeros all day yesterday. It was not a fun day. Which is still probably similar to what yours is actually. Now that I think about it, because you're doing it in Fahrenheit and I'm doing it in Celsius. So probably not too far off temperature wise, which is strange because we're much further up north than you are. Although we've got the Gulf Stream that helps keep us warm as well. That does. 2 wheels done. Wheel number 3. Only 4 points of contacts on these wheels. It's really irritating. You could get away with 2. You don't need the full 4. I'm not looking forward to having to cut the bloody razor blade, this thingy blades out. Ah yes, you've had a cold front, I believe, as well, Twisted, coming in, haven't you? I mean, everybody bloody has around about this time of year, apparently. No worries, Twisted, no worries. Wife going work, wife need feeding. Although food's a good idea, right? I am hungry. Not gonna lie, I am hungry. But I'm not gonna start talking about food because that'll be bloody worse. I'm just gonna keep snipping, keep gluing until I have a Goliath Rockgrinder built. And that's what I'm gonna do. Four wheels, which it doesn't want me to glue on yet, so let's move them out of the way. Now we've got to build the dudes. The first one is 93 and 95. So there's 93. And his torso is 95. So, because I am using big chunky clunkers, I'm being careful. Now we don't get a base for this guy because he's going to be stuck onto the actual vehicle. 95 is here in a nice row of 3 torsos. Don't drop it, don't drop it. I didn't. I did well. So a little bit of glue now on the sides. And then we push his body together. And you've got little dimples for his arms, which helps. But I'm going to have to get a file in there to sort some of that out. It ain't a pretty way of doing it, but it works. And for arms is 91 and 92, which are right there next to each other, and he's saying 86 for a head. Okay, Britain's was 86. There it is. So I'm going to put his head on first just because I found that, and I don't want to have to look for that again, because the 2 arms were relatively easy to find because they are right here. And they do have little nubbly bits so he can line his arms up nice and easily, because he's looking like he's going to be firing something or controlling something, quite possibly. You're joking me. Yes, I have just dropped that piece. I heard it hit something metal. Which means it's gone near my ruler. Which could be a good thing or could be a bad thing. Oh dear, where has it gone?
don't say this because I need to take the hoover to this carpet, and I can't if this is the case, because I end up losing the entire bloody arm of somebody who's supposed to be firing a cannon, or firing some kind of weapon. It's definitely bounced down here,
because I heard it dink off the metal ruler.
That really does, unless it's gone flying off because it's dipped off the metal ruler. It doesn't have many places it can go down near it. Now I know I've got a bit quieter than what I was because my head's now stuffed down underneath my desk looking for a dropped piece. I'm sure some people can sympathise or empathise with the situation because you have also dropped many piece of grey plastic on the floor on a grey frigging carpet, because that's what colour they have, insulated carpets. They have them grey.
Okay, that's just going to have to be a full-on scour later on. Oh no, he needs a second arm. Well, no, it doesn't. I can put the second arm on him afterwards and just put it in place of where it needs to be. So, you have a good day, Graham Blade, mate. I hope you have fun. I hope you're feeling better as well. No worries, man. Go sit through the meeting. Dee's done his for today. It's now time for you to go do yours. It's one of the things you've got to do as a compromise of working from home. You have to attend these meeting things. Right, so he's supposed to have a second arm on him like this. That will hold up the console thing that I'm going to glue on in a minute. Just going to give it another quick scan around while picking up the sprue. Having the light down here probably would have been a good idea as well. But I don't want to mess up too much at the moment because the camera's actually attached to my light, so I can't really do that. So we have to continue on without it, and he does have this computer which will be glued onto him, and that's where his hand goes into. So you can see where the difficulties lie in that one. I should have two joins to join the plastic with, and I've only got one. But I can always, when I've found it, I can glue the other piece back in so that it's there to as an extra piece of secureness, and the fact it's an actual arm that's supposed to be there. But it's not like I have a joystick to put in and be able to put another arm in instead. I don't have that option, sadly. So in this case, the two joysticks go in these two little sections here, but I've only got one joystick because I've dropped a bloody arm on the floor. This is going stringy again. As long as you work, I'm alright. Do not make me clear the nozzle again. It should still be working. So, put some glue in that side for now, and put the joystick in. And he's supposed to have two arms to hold that up, but I'm going to have to find the other. The joys, eh? The joys. Now for the head. And that's the dude built. Almost. Now we have another dude to build. This one is only half a dude because he's got no legs, because he's going to be sat in, so I'm assuming he's going to be sat in this bit. Oh, sorry, this bit here. I'm assuming that he's going to be in there. Bring it onto camera, that does help. Yeah, that bit. It's going to be sat in there. Yet another piece it doesn't want us to glue in. But we start with 75 and 73, which are next to each other, fortunately for us. And let's see if I drop the arm again this time. I hope not. Especially if they're two similar arms. I don't want to be looking around for two similar arms and not realise which one goes with which. What are his arms anyway? They are 76 and 77. And 74 being the bonds. So gluing up the side of his chest. Glue it to the rest of the torso. Wait for the little clicky pop bit. In this case I'm going to try and just snip that bit out if I can, just to help flatten it off so the arm will go on smoother. And again on this side, although this one might be better off with a file actually. Some of them you can get away with because they're a little bit bigger, the snips will work, but some of them are quite shallow even though they are raised. So you have to use scrapers or files. So the 70s, we want 76 and 77. '76 and 77. Right there next to each other. Nice. Now again, these have got really awkward bloody snip points, so be careful. Again, the sharper the point on the tips, the easier it will be to get into those places. But again, I've gone back to the I don't have hobby tools, I have just normal tools method at the moment because I can't find my hobby tools. Right, it wants me to glue 76 in first and then build the gun and then glue the gun on and then glue 77 on. So first of all glue 76 on, which is one arm. Keep 77 there. Now we need to get out the gun, and it's going to be the heavy stubber, so 85 and 83 is going to be the barrel and the ammo crate for it. So 85 and 83, so there's 85 and there's 83. But it also has a 28 and an 84 with it. Fair enough. I can see the 84, it's in a nice little run with the 83. We can have a 62. Can I have a 62? If I could have put a las cannon on this instead of a heavy stubber, I am not going to be happy. It will be being removed, possibly in a violent manner. Or even an auto cannon instead of a heavy stubber. That'll do better. Just gives it a little bit more punch at range. So there is the auto cannon, and there is the ammo box. I am not looking forward to doing these big stacks of discs, by the way. Cool. I've clipped off 3 points. Why aren't you coming out? There we go. Thank you. Right, okay, that does not go on the way I thought it was going to go on. I thought that was going to go on that way round, but I'm completely wrong. It just butts right up to the end there and goes on long ways. So I completely got that one wrong with my expectations of this model. On a basic gun, I would have just, without instructions, I would have got that bit wrong. Still nearly got it wrong, and I've got instructions that have just dry faded it. There we go. There we go. That's right now. And now it wants us to glue 28 and 84. 28 is a very small canister, and there is one of them on this sprue which has very little left on it, but it has one little tiny bit here still that is needed. So we get this bit, and this bit goes on the other side to the ammo crate, and 84 I would hazard, well, we found 84, didn't we? We did. So on the other side of that, there it is. Okay. So tiny little spudge of, this is being really careful with it on there and on the end. Not as careful as I wanted to be in the end. But as long as it goes where it's supposed to, it doesn't really matter. And it's supposed to go in there like that. How often have I caught that camera? I think I've even moved it a couple of times. I'll get better at this YouTuber business eventually, I will. Now clip out part number 84, which is a ridiculously small piece. A very, very, very small bloody piece indeed. Just tiny little bit there. A little tiny piece. Should be nice and easy for those of you with actual snips. Going to be an absolute pain in the ass using metal cutters. Or wire cutters. Big wire cutters. Well, not big wire cutters. I've seen some big wire cutters, and they're pretty much the jaws of life. They're just pneumatic things that cut through cable yay thick. It's not that, but it's still the mounting point for this gun. So I have a feeling it's gonna go on there. Right, before I glue that bit on, I'm going to do the arms. So at least then I can try and line it up right properly. And get it nice and straight. So that's arm number right. Yeah, you heard me right. You heard me. Arm number right. And then we're gonna do our best to get arm number left in afterwards. And that's gonna take a little bit of glue in there. A bit of glue in there. And then we know we've got arm number left down here. That goes in that side. and it's going to go into that shoulder joint as well, and then glue into that, and then we should be able to hold that steady. Catch my head again. I've probably got my head in the way a lot on this one. I do apologise. I am sorry. I'm learning with this new little setup. And then once he's done like that, you can put a very, very, very small smidgen amount of glue on that little pin. And I know we've got to put a head on him yet, but what I do is be able to line this up so it does actually fit on that railing when I come to actually put him on. See, it's a bit askew with at the minute. There we go. Right, now we need a head for him. What was his head, number 74? There's not many bloody heads on these, so where is it? 74, there it is, right in the very top corner. Or right in the corner anyway. Just happens to be the top corner from my orientation. Sponge glue in the head. Or in the neck. Have him looking down there. Boom! That is the second dude. And we've got enough parts to build another 2 dudes, apparently. But we have finished with that sheet. Awesome. Now, do we have to build the other 2 dudes? No, we don't actually have to build the other 2 dudes. So we might actually have 2 spare. Just acolytes. Oh, that's good. Oh shit, I've just seen which bit I've got to do. Right, starts with 69, 72, 68. 69, 72. 68, 71, 7. Couldn't they just put them in fucking order? Right, so 69 stacks on top. If you can clip the damn thing out like this. I know this is my own fault. I do not require sympathy. But in some cases this is not somebody else, this is somebody's own fault. So, just acknowledgement that this is a pain in the ass way of doing it. Especially if you forget to get all the clip points. Or they don't get a nice clean cut, or at least a relatively decent cut to be able to come out. Any overburry ones can be sorted out afterwards, but in this case big chunky ones are not a good idea for these. But it is a working piece of industrial equipment that has been repurposed for military use. So having a few dinks and dangs, you know, it doesn't have to be 100% perfect. Right, so next is 72. Luckily this one only has 4 points. Looks skimmy. And how many of these have I got to do? 3! Someone's having a giraffe, aren't they? Right. So that bit has to go on the top, not the circle bit. So somehow you got to find out the bit of the circle bit and the bit of that bit that line up together. Right. So they do click together quite well. So glue the clicking together bit and push them together. Okay. So now following that, 68 is only going to have a singular one, and then we've got a singular one on both sides. Well, that's probably why that's the middle one. Two, three, four. Out you come. So yeah, that's identical on both sides. So that'll be why this is the middle one. Just a bit of clean up. And then yeah, we build those as the other side, and then right, okay, that's not as bad as I thought. I thought they was all going to have individual connections, whereas it's just do this twice and put that one in the middle. I can deal with that. But because that's the case, they could have put them in a better order on the sprue. They couldn't have done what they did with the wheels. That would have been fine. That one on that one. That one on that one. Right, now you've got them. Stick them both to that one. Done. What? No. You put them in an awkward order, and make some really awkward snip points, especially when it's got 5 bloody snip points on it. Why does it need 5 snip points on it? And one of them's going to need snipping down even further anyway. But it doesn't need 5 snip points on it, does it? So glue in that, line up the double slot, glue in that, line up the single slot. One stack of Rockgrinder blades. That was a lot more effort than it needed to be. But now I have learned from my mistakes. This should be quicker. He says. You would hope unbelievable, wouldn't you? I think I've learned from how to do it. I think, yeah, anyway. Need one of them. And you need one of them. Sorry about getting my hat in the way again. And as long as the 2 end pieces end up as the 2 end pieces, it shouldn't bloody matter. Not lining up well. There we go. Another snippy bit. Like I said, these are fragile and very small contact points, and what accurate pair of snips would be advantageous in this position. twist them because they will go together. There we go. Got that locked in. Press down. Good. Now for the next two. And then it all comes together with the middle piece. And the middle piece is right at the end. The middle piece is the end piece. Yeah, you would have thought you would have put the middle piece as the middle piece. But no. So you can go tire, connect to that. That would have just been so much easier on the sprue. But no. I'm having a right old whinge about this one, aren't I? He must have got me. He must have got me. Not quite sure how I'm pushing on at the moment. I've only got about 3.5 hours sleep. Maybe 4. I've drank a fair bit today. I've had a couple of coffees and my big mug of tea. I'm really doing get some food though, which I shall do after I finish this Rockgrinder. Definitely coming towards the end now. He's got bits that he doesn't want us to glue on yet because he wants us to be able to paint them. In this case we actually want glue on both sides of this. And then we wiggle that one round till it clicks. And then we get that one. And we wiggle that one round till it clicks. And then we have another stack for the Rockgrinder. Third one to go. And then we've got a few little bits. And we've got a lot of other little bits actually. Oh, this one's different, right? Okay, so 78. Let's pay attention to this one. 78 is the end one. Okay. You want to change it around a little bit on me because this is the other set. You can change it around a bit if you want. That's fine. And this is going to be the set that goes in the bottom, right? So they're the two side stacks, and then this is going to be the bottom bit. And then you've got all the little tiny mini blades to go in as well. Bloody loads of them. How many of them is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 little mini blades to go on also. So we'll take that out and then realise the mistake that we've done. So right, let's glue these into place before we forget about them. Now these go on this piece, so I'm just going to use this to help hold them, hold this in place while I slot them in. There we go. And this last one's going to be going in here, and then you got the 5 thingies. So I should probably chop that out, really, shouldn't I? Because this is the last big section that we've got going on. So let's get it freed from the sprue. And it's ready to have all the other pieces put onto it then. Because it actually wants me to do the little blade bits next, as well as some other bits. So carrying on the front side, he wants me to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm not sure where the last one is. Oh, there it is. They all look the exact same, but they've got different numbers, and they all go in the little holes and pegs that are in the front. So I'm not going to worry too much the fact that they've all given them individual numbers, because they look like they all fit in the same bloody thing. If I'm wrong, then I'm going to have the fun job of trying to figure out where I went wrong. I'm more concentrating on not dropping these things as I snip them out, because they're small and they will ping everywhere. So glue, 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 glue. Tiny little micro half blade in there. One in. Come on, don't be like this with me. One in there. One in there. Come. Fit. One in there, and then one in there. So now we have the 5 little mini blades. So we just got to build this last one now, which we have started with 78 first. Just that piece there. 87 is next, which is this piece. So 78 and 79 are the end pieces, and they're the ones with the flat edges. Right, that's easy enough to remember. But they all have flat edges, just that they've got big flat panelly bits to glue to. So glue on the connection point, and make sure you line up roughly, I hope, where the flat bit's supposed to be. Yep, there it is. So that is where they've clipped the actual spikes off, so it can fit. So all down this side the spikes have been trimmed so they fit with the little nubbly bit. Next is 65. Well, actually 65 is the middle bit again, isn't it? So I'm going to go to 79 and work 79 and 80, and then I can stick 65 in the middle. And as long as I line them up so that they've got the bloody flat edges together, all should go well. And then I've got 1, 2, 3 bits to go on behind it, and I believe that is the Rockgrinder put together to the point they want us to, so we can paint it. Now it does say put blue tack anywhere where you're going to be gluing stuff down, just so that when you do glue it down later, paint isn't in the way and you can use plastic glue. So put some blue tack down in certain areas, like where this guy's going to go, in there. You may also wish to put a bit in some underneath the gun, if you're using the gun, or if you're gluing the gun in place, should I say. So anywhere that it's not told you directly to glue it down yet, including the back of this dozer blade thing that we're making now. If I just screwed that up, yep, I got that the wrong way around, and I need to separate that quickly before it 100% sets. and give it a very quick 180, and hopefully that will still be salvageable. Ow, I cracked my finger. That's what you get for putting pressure on too much. You can crack the tip of your finger. And if you're not expecting it, it can be a little bit painful. Not too painful. But certainly not pleasant if you're not expecting it. No, sir. So now we need to get the flat bit again, which is there. Glue on that, flip that bit over, and there is only one way this can go on, because there is a single notch on it, so it has to line up with the flat bits, luckily. Just make sure we've got enough glue, and we do pay attention to where that notch is, and that gives us the two raised bits and then the flat bit beyond. And then they go into the two little groove holes that are in there. So yep, you've got to line these bloody things up and push them in. So you're really looking from the other side and trying to twist the blades round. Use the fact that they are circles and you can do that, and then force the damn things in. And that's the front of the Rockgrinder. Now we go to the back of it, and we want to put in lights and some other things. Hey, well, there's the 4 strip of lights that he wants us to put on. That's quite simple. Easy to find. I like that. I like that. It is good. Yeah. Nope, save my voice for later. Yeah, save my voice for later. So, this bit has got 2 dots and 2 slits to go pretty much in the middle of the dozer blade. I'll bring it up close there. See the 2 slits and then the 2 dots in the middle. So that means that they fit in just like so. Then when you turn it around, you've got 4 nice lights popping up at the top. Once you've done that bit, we want 2 25s, which look like, I'm not sure what they look like. 15 and 16. There's 125. But it says we want 2. Ah, there's the other one. So they are near each other. And they are on the pretty much damn near empty sprue, as is the last piece, I believe. Okay, so this is a snip off from underneath one, because you need it at an angle. Probably not one that you want to snip off too close, actually, because it may buckle at the edge like it has just done for me. There we go, and then these glue into the remaining 2 dots here. And then we've got a big piece to go on this panel yet. But they want to go in with the flat bit pointing down so it can later go onto the front and connect onto essentially where those bits are later on, once you've painted like it and got into the hard nooks and cranny areas, even though it's just made you cover most of them. He's telling you to not cover these ones. And the next piece is a 36, which is this section here on the big sprue that's nearly empty. We've got a lot. We've got a fair few things on these sprue. That's. I mean, you've got two guys. Looks like an auto cannon. Some other kind of gun. Some other kind of gun. I think you can get a few things on this that are actually quite handy and nice to have left over. I'm going to have a look, see if I've got the correct size bases to build up them 2 extra guys. Because I don't think I'm getting away with making them Megases. Right, so they're saying this goes on. This goes on here. Yeah, that goes on there. That's why you want to put a bead across there and then a little bit at the ends. And that goes on there, and then that helps it steady on when you're attaching it to the front of there like that, which is how it will eventually go. And then obviously the 4 wheels will go on it as well. Take you off for a moment. And these should be able to dry fit on. 2, 3, and 4, and then you'll end up with one guy stood over here on this rail. This is the guy with the arm missing, and the guy with the auto cannon stood up there, and the great big whopping dozer blade with all the grindy stuff on the front. So that's kind of what it's going to look like once you've glued it all together. Obviously this guy's going to have a second arm because you're going to have made it properly. I'm just going to go turn the page, make sure I've not missed anything. No, it does exactly that. Just tells you to make sure that they're lining up properly, and they're lining up properly, and that's where that guy's going to go, and that's where that other guy's going to go. Alright. So we have a 99.9% done Goliath Rockgrinder for the Gene Stealer cults now. I think there's only 1 unit left. Next week is the Cading Command Squad, which I do need another one of. I think I've only got the 2, so I do need a couple more Cading Command Squads, definitely. But that is the building section of issues 69 and 70 done. I will be back later on in about just over 8 hours to do the law and rules sections of both those issues. So I look forward to seeing everyone later on tonight. Thank you for everyone who's coming to see me and spend time chatting and watching me do this. You are all very much appreciated.